Serving their community is who they are because they love where they live. REMAX 3D Real Estate is proud to bring you Heart of Royse City, a video series dedicated to celebrating all the wonderfully great things about Royse City, Texas. On every episode, Dennisha Thacker will share Royse City's story through the stories of the people who call Royse City home. This is Heart of Royse City.
Thank you so much for watching Heart of Royse City. I asked Bobby Gladu to come on the show because you are going to see his heart and soul for people and how he treats people, but also how much he really loves this community and wants to see it grow. I hope you enjoy my conversation with Bobby. Hey y'all, I'm Dennisha Thacker, your host of Heart of Royse City, and today we're sitting down at the REMAX 3D Real Estate with Mr. Bobby Gladu. How are you today, Bobby?
I'm doing awesome.
Thank you so much for agreeing to come and sit down with me and share your story.
Thanks for asking me. I mean, I tell you, this is a great community, so if we can, I'd love to tell you all about it and brag about it, so I got all day.
Okay, well, let's do it. Since you love Royse City, let's start there. Tell me what you love about Royse City.
You know, it's been about 8 years now that I've been here, and when I first came in, it was so welcoming to me as a new business owner coming in town, and all the people are, it's such a warm country community. Everyone knows everyone. Everybody knows everyone by name.
Cheers.
It really is. It really is. Everybody's so welcoming, warm. The community helps each other. You know, if a horse got out or a cow got out, everybody rallies together to help each other. So very neighborly. So I recommend anybody who wants to move to this town, please come and see. We're trying to grow correctly so it's not growing too big like a big city. But we've got a lot of perks the big cities have, but we're trying to keep the warm community feel. So it's a cozy, warm place to raise your kids at.
I love that. So where did you move here from, and how did you get to Royse City?
Well, I was living in Murphy, Texas, and I had a business in Garland, and I had another business. My commercial masonry business was in Garland. I've been in there, I think that office 12 years. And then I had a granite company in Sunnyvale. And we're doing residential and commercial. And I wanted to combine them because I was doing staff meetings in both locations. So I found this by accident, this building over here, and I fell in love with the building. It was I thought it was a little bit farther out than I wanted to be. So I fell in love with it, bought it, remodeled it, and I've been here ever since. And I'm so glad I did what I did.
Did you merge the two then when you moved out to Royse City?
Yes, I put them both together on the same roof. We've got an office downstairs. We've got 2 suites above the office. We've got a warehouse in the back. All of our CNC machines are in the back. We've got 12 acres. So we got our lay-down yard for our masonry stuff, our equipment, our forklifts, everything in the back, a mechanic shop. So we got plenty of room back there, and it's just a perfect location for us. Well,
tell our audience where the location is, because I think they all know where it is, but they just don't know that yet.
So when you come in over the bridge in Fate going east, the first exit number 74, is our exit. You exit there when the first right off of the service road. There's a big blue letter that says Granite on the building behind OMI Crane right there. So you'll see the big black, we have a big awning in the front that says A&A Granite on it. We got big blue letters that says Granite. We got a marquee sign in the front. You can't miss us. But it's the first building basically when you get to Royse City right now on the south side.
Thank you so much for sharing that. When you said that, I'm like, oh, I know where that is.
And it lights up at night, so you can't miss it.
Exactly. How did you get into that business?
You know, I've been in the masonry business since I was 13, and I wanted to do something else besides this masonry. And I love restoration. A lot of the old buildings had a lot of granite and marble, intermixed with the masonry, the brick and stone buildings. So a buddy of mine, I had my horses stable down in Rowlett, and this guy had a little granite company. He was trying to get rid of it or sell it, So I talked to him about it, and I just bought him out. It was a little bitty company, and that was the start of the story. And that was about 8 years ago.
Well, I was going to say, did you do that when you were younger, or when did you buy him out? Just recently?
It was about 8 years ago.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So what did you do before that then?
So I just been doing, when I started my masonry company, like I said, I was 13 working. Then I went on my own, started doing brick mailboxes. I had a little wheelbarrow and a shovel, back from the beginning. And I started doing small landscape masonry work, some planters, mailboxes. Then I started doing remodeling, some small additions, and then I started some big houses in Highland Park. And then I got into small commercial, and then now today we do large commercial projects. Here in Royse City, our community, we just finished the Bobby Summers Middle School. We did work at the high school, the Weta Bailey. Did an addition over there. We did the Walmart over here.
Yes.
We did the Kroger and Rockwall. So we did all of the work at Love Field Airport. So we do quite a bit of big projects around town. So we do mostly schools, fire stations, police stations, things like that.
What's the name of your company? We haven't said that yet.
It is Artisan Masonry.
And how did you get that name?
Artisan means craftsman.
Yes.
And I've always been real big into detail and doing quality work and taking pride of what we do. And I've had guys with me 20 plus years now, and it really we're congealed real well. It makes my life a lot easier. And we do really high quality work. And we win a lot of awards around town too.
20 years. That says a lot.
It's closer to 30 probably. But yeah, it's probably closer to 30 years now.
Well, but that says a lot for your people to stay with you and to build that culture that they want to stay and be a part of. So,
I really do feel like we're a team, and I'm only as good as my team is. And when I hire people, I look for people with qualities of passion and integrity. And if you don't have those, then it doesn't matter what else they have. So our guys care what they do. We do beautiful buildings around town. People know us. We're still old school with a handshake. When I'm looking in the eye, I tell you we're going to do something, we're going to do it. I'll tell you a little story. We were doing a big project in Frisco, and I think it was the school administration building in Frisco, and we were doing the masonry outside the building, and we were doing the granite inside. And it was a rush project. They were near the deadline, and we were going to do the granite on the lobby, wrapping the desk. And I told the guy I'd be done on Thursday, and I think it was Wednesday. It was Thursday morning, and the cabinet guys were not done.
Oh no!
And I told my guys to do what you can. Mm-hmm. And the next morning, I called them. I said, how far did y'all go that we got done? I said, there's no way you got done. He goes, yeah, we stayed all night because you gave your word that we would get it done, so we did. So that was real heartwarming. And at the end of the year, we have a awards banquet for all the employees. And his wife told me at that party at the end of the year that she was mad at me because he stayed up all night and worked and all this. And when I gave him an award for Employee of the Year, and
that just gives me goosebumps. Oh, that's really special.
Well, I won her over because of it. So
you won her over with that award of Employee.
Yeah, because she knew that I appreciated her husband.
Yeah.
And so.
And that's what people really want. They want to know that they're giving up their spouse, for them to put food on the table and be gone. But they want to know that their spouse is appreciated. Right. And
so when you're hiring employees, they're with you more than they are their family. Mm-hmm. So you really are like family when you have everybody there.
Yes.
So I tell everybody we hire you for life. We want you to be here forever because you're with us more than you are your family.
Oh, man. I wasn't expecting that. Man, we have very similar cultures. Just in listening to how you conduct your business, and then how I do with mine. And we always have an awards gala, and we just had ours. And cool. I always invite the families to come, their spouses and their children. Yes. And we would do the walking across the stage and all that. And it's always, I love to see with the spouses, I love to watch their faces and the kids to get to see that their mom or dad are being honored for what they do and what they give up. And when we have the right employees that give their heart and soul to a company, like you said, this is where they spend most of their time. They deserve that recognition, and they need that.
We have also a bricklaying school that we send bricklayers to learn how to lay brick, and they make a lot more money when they become bricklayers. And their wife and kids always come, and they're so proud to get the awards for that. So yeah, I really try to include the families as much as I can when we have things. We also have we have like 120 employees in the field, and we have the end of the year thing for them too, where we have mechanical bull, and we cater and all that too, and then they all get shirts and coats and hats and all that kind of things too. So just showing you appreciate everyone who works for you. It's important.
Absolutely. Okay, well, if things don't work out in real estate, I'm going to come see you.
Come on, we have a place for you somewhere.
I don't know. These 23 years here seem like, I think I'm going to stick it out. But hey, if I ever know anyone that wants to be in your industry, I'm going to send them your way. To build that kind of culture is something very special in today's time. So
I appreciate that.
Thank you for that. You said you started when you were a teenager. Who was the person that introduced you to masonry, that sparked that interest in you?
You know, I tell people that it was my stepfather. So he was not trying to influence me, but I look back in my life, and he was I guess he was married to my mom for like 5 or 6 years. And we were more friends than a stepfather-son relationship. But I look who I am today, and it really influenced me a lot. I mean, the bricklaying school, I'm one of Jehovah's Witnesses. I got that for the faith from him. I also love scuba diving. I had saltwater tanks. And then I've got a dumb sense of humor that I got from him too. But he was a good craftsman. He really taught me the art of masonry. And so I really enjoy what I do. You know, when at the end of the day, you're building beautiful buildings, monuments that you can go look at later on in life. And so I was very proud of that. And we have a really good name in the whole Metroplex, really. Yeah. And so, I was married to a lady, and I had her stepsons, and I was trying to influence them. Mm-hmm. And looking back now, I can see the difference I made, you know, for the short time I was there too.
Well, you get that choice. Yeah. You can either choose to be an influence to them or not. And so it sounds like you had a wonderful stepfather to be an example to you, for you to follow in those steps. Does he still have did he have a business of his own? Is that just the career he was in? He did a little bit he did small masonry work. He had a partner down in Park Cities. Okay. He's been gone for about 10 years now, I think, at least, or maybe longer. But but for a person who was not trying to influence me, he made such a big difference. So I deliberately try to make a difference in other people's lives, because, I mean, if you're trying to do it on purpose, it should stick. Absolutely. That's the only way you can do it, is on purpose. That's not something that just happens. You have to be intentional about that.
I do believe that. You know, people knock on wood, they go, I haven't had somebody killed. But like with my business, it's very dangerous. And we work in 23 stories up in the building, different things. And so it's intentional safety with us, because I want my employees to go home to their families. Right. So like you said, life's intentional. It's what you make of it. When things are bad, I just say, you know, try me. We'll keep going, because I don't quit. That's I don't know if it's a good or bad trait, but I don't quit. So
I don't know. I think it's a great trait.
I appreciate that.
That's how you get where you are, though. You know, I mean, I don't know. There's always that saying, nobody likes a quitter, but it's really true. Just pulling out that grit and making those things happen. And
you know, they say that the difference between to being first place and second place is that you didn't give up. Right. So if you gave up, you could have. If you went a little bit further, you could have been successful, because every success story has many failures to get to, and those are just stepping stones. Some people think of them as boulders, but if you think of them as stepping stones to get where you are, to climbing a ladder, then you'll be successful eventually.
Absolutely. And I don't know, sometimes that failure is what actually gets you to that next step. Even though you may take 2 steps back, you can take 4 steps forward then later, because you overcame.
Well, you learn from your mistakes. I mean, if you take these challenges or lessons, issues that happen, and you learn from them, then you're just a better owner down the road, and you learn from those mistakes, and you know how to combat them when they come up again.
What's been one of the biggest challenges for you in your life that you've had to overcome?
You know, I don't really think of anything as traumatic, because I've had failures. I've had many failures. But I don't give up. I don't quit. I learn from them and continue going forward. You know, one thing, I'm always trying to stay ahead of all the new technology around. So we had so many employees, so many jobs going around and moving people around. The foreman was taking the time for the weekly payroll. And I said, you know what? They've got these new things. You put it on your key that you can clock in, like a keyless pad. You know, so I had all the employees do that, and it was a mess. Oh. It wasn't working. So I had all these little keys, like you do, like it. I don't know, Kroger, the little thing. You know, it's a key, and it didn't work. So a year or 2 later, I tried it again, and it didn't work again. So, you know, it was one of those things that it just didn't work. And I had a woman that worked for me. She goes, you know, they did that with doctors. And the doctors couldn't do it. How do you expect these construction workers to do it? So, you know, it's just, you learn from your mistakes. You try new things. Technology has gone way different than when I was out there in the field. Yes. And so we just grow with it. Right now, when we do an estimate, we do a 3D model of it. Really? So you can see there's a wall missing or anything. So it's a beautiful, and I use it for marketing too. Because when you send a bid in and there's a proposal, a breakdown proposal, and you see a 3D model of your building that we're going to build, I think it makes a difference too.
It makes a huge difference. People have a really hard time envisioning something that's on paper.
Correct.
And when you put it in that three-dimensional, it's like, oh, that is what I think it's going to be. Or no, that's not what I was thinking.
So now they can apples to apples. They can see exactly what you're doing. And so I don't know. It's something that I love that we do. And we're always trying to push the envelope to even get better, always.
So when you were growing up, did you always want to own your own company?
I don't think it was that. I never really thought about it. I just kind of grew into it, and I started to love it, and I'm very passionate about anything I do. I don't think any business owner, owning a business got nothing to do with what you do. Mm-hmm. You could be the best plumber, electrician in the world, but owning a business got nothing to do with that. So that's a new world. You might be the best bricklayer in the world, but owning a business, there's a lot of moving parts, insurance and taxes and so many different things, that come along with that. But I've enjoyed it. I take the challenge and I run with it, and I've learned along the ways.
You've grown up with it.
Yeah, pretty much.
How did you go through COVID? How was COVID for your business?
So in March of last year, just about a year ago,
Right.
I got the COVID.
Oh, you got it?
Yeah, I was flying in from St. Lucia, and I was moving between houses. So I was in my horse trailer, and I had a little cough, and I came to work Monday morning. I said, I got a little cough. I said, I'm going to go get tested. And you could not get tested anywhere.
No.
It was back then. So finally, I just walked into the hospital in Rowlett, and they go, well, you don't look that sick, but they tested me for the flu. I did A and B. I didn't have it. And he goes, well, since you've been out of the country, and at the time I had my stepson was going through leukemia. They said, you know what, we're going to go ahead and test you. So I got tested, came back with COVID. So I just stayed. I had a slight fever for 6 days, and the health department kept calling me every 2-3 days too back then. I think I was number 14 in Collin County.
Wow.
Yeah.
14.
I was one of the first. But a good thing I wasn't watching the news all the time. But it wasn't that bad. But, I tell everybody now just to be healthy, I work out a lot. I do 200 sit-ups every morning. I try to be healthy, which I think makes a big difference. But I tell everybody right now, just try to be healthy. And I think hopefully people are cleaner because of all this too.
That's true. Were you scared being number 14 and the health department's calling you all the time? How did that feel?
I didn't have cable in my horse trailer, so I didn't know what was going on. But I was still conducting business, and I didn't feel that bad.
Right.
So if it wasn't for the COVID, I probably would have went to work. But it's amazing how it affected the jobs. We had jobs shut down when they found out I had it in the office.
Yes.
We had a job. There was probably at least 50 people. When their offices heard, they shut the whole job down. Mm-hmm. And that happened a few times. And so then we had a few people in the office get it. But it affected, last year was a tough year. Even though we were an essential worker and got in construction, it did affect all of us a lot.
And it was really hard for people at first when they knew someone had COVID. It was almost like you had a plague. So I had it as well later in the year in November. And people just treated you different. And so I can't imagine what you went through as number 14.
I know. It was like you said, it was like you had leprosy or something.
It was.
Yeah.
It was a very isolated feeling. And then there was so much still unknown. I'd lost a friend recently to that, right before that. So you have all those thoughts. So that's why I asked those questions. And, thankfully we're both sitting here today and we're fortunate. Yes, but, it did impact businesses. And so I always love to know the story, because we're going to have these stories for the rest of our lives of what we went through personally, but also in our businesses with COVID and how it's changed us.
Exactly. It's funny. I saw a thing on Facebook the other day when we had the Snowmageddon, or whatever they call it.
Yes.
They said 2020, 21 says hold my beer. Like,
Exactly.
Let's see what we can do. But it was a tough year, personally, business wise, but nothing will keep me down. And I think that's the way we all should be. So
I was going to say, I bet it sounds like you've got a good attitude and looks like you're ready for 2021.
I am.
We almost have this first quarter behind us too.
It's gone by quick this year for some reason.
It has. Does it feel like your business has picked up this year?
We are still slowly going up, but election year at the end of the year, it always slows business down. People are afraid, to let go of their money. And the bidding is kind of low right now as far as the prices, but things are going up slowly. So I've got a lot of connections. So We're going to always continue to keep rowing.
And
It's
the
gonna
Lord
work.
always provides.
Exactly. I always say God always takes care of me, always.
Always, yes. So you mentioned scuba diving earlier. Where's been the coolest place you've ever been scuba diving?
I like to travel around the world to dive. Thailand was beautiful. It was beautiful over there. But it's funny. Costa Rica, all through the Caribbean. But in July, since Hawaii was shut down because of COVID, I flew to Florida, and we went shark diving.
Really?
So we were 80 feet underwater. We're chumming the water, and we're making all this noise. And all of a sudden, you see 6 sharks come up. Like I said, we're deep.
Are
and
you in a cage?
No.
No, you're not in a cage.
And they're coming around it. But I tell people, it's just like all animals are the same. Dogs, horses, when they're hungry, they just want that food. And the same with the sharks. They know you're not food. They're not after you.
How do you know they don't?
Because I was pushing them away from me because they're looking like, they're just pushing them away from you. It's funny because my stepson was with me, and he got hit in the back by one of the sharks because he was just ran into him by accident, and I heard him screaming on the water. I started laughing. So I grabbed him next to me. But they're all the same. I feel bad for a lot of the sharks because most shark attacks are mistaken identity. It's dirty water. Someone's got fish in the water, and they're just biting whatever something's moving. So most shark attacks, they bite and they release. But if it's a bad bite, it could lose your life. But no, they could see us, and it was fun. It was fun. I enjoyed it.
That's really cool. How long were you down there with them?
We're about an hour and a half down there.
Oh, wow.
So.
And you were never scared?
No. I've dealt with sharks a lot, and normally when you swim towards a shark, they swim away from you.
Okay.
And so we went to Costa Rica, and we deliberately went to find the bull sharks. Those big boys weren't afraid of us, but they still didn't get too close to us, and I think just watching us. I love scuba diving because I tell people it's the other half of God's creation. It's so relaxing. It's beauty, the colors underwater. If you've never done it, you need to try it.
I've never scuba dived. I have done snorkeling, but
it's a lot easier than snorkeling because you guys say above the water. When you're underwater, you're like you're in space.
Yes.
And everything goes slow, and there's so much beauty and things coming out of nowhere. There's always movement going around, and there's a lot of beautiful colors and everything. It's just beautiful and relaxing.
That's so cool. Okay, I may have to go try that out then.
Definitely try. You got to try it at least once.
That's great. Well, Bobby, I heard that you serve on quite a few boards around Royse City, and we're on Heart of Royse City. So let's talk a little bit deeper. Speaking of water and deeper, let's talk about Royse City a little bit. What are some of the boards that you've served on and some things you've been a part of?
So I get very active. Like I started, a matter of fact, I started the Granite Association, North Texas, because we didn't have one when I got the Granite Company. I've served on several masonry associations in North Texas and also nationally also. And then I'm involved in the horse world. So I was the president of a horse association, a vice president of another horse association. And
do you show horses? Sorry.
No, I do. I was doing team penning at the time.
Okay.
So then I moved to Royse City. And like I said, I like to be very active. So I got on the Main Street Board, the Economic Development Board, the Royse City board where they raise money for the kids for iPads and different things, and the Education Foundation is what it was. Currently, I am only on the Royse City Chamber Board and the Economic Development Board.
Okay.
So I enjoy it. I love seeing the new businesses come to town and helping them get to town and stuff. And we want to also build a great community, so we're trying to bring the right businesses to town too.
Has that been hard? I mean, as things have evolved, you get to a place where everybody wants to come. Is it hard when there's someone here that maybe doesn't fit the direction of Royse City? How do you handle that?
We give incentives out to people we want to come to town. We want we feel it's good for our community. We really think about that. I can't say we've got some great things coming. I can't say right now, but we've heard the community what they want, and I don't get on boards to be, a wallflower. I'm very active, and I speak my mind, and I know what we want here in Royse City. So hopefully some of the things come to fruition. But we got some big plans, and I'm really looking forward to the future of Royse City.
What is a project that you've worked on that you can talk about that is really special to you?
Buc-ee's was a big one. Buc-ee's came in. We gave them a good plan. They took a great location. Even Starbucks was another one. Walmart, we've got some good things have happened. And then a lot of stuff on Main Street too. A lot, we really felt like if we didn't take care of Main Street, the corridor was going to take care of itself. Right. So we really worked on Main Street and get some good, and now we have some great boutiques. We're fixing to have it where you can have 4 different bands on a weekend downtown in Royse City. And that's fun. A small strip.
Yes.
Yes. So we've got smoke section, barbecue is going to be outside also, and they're going to have bands, Native Station. We've got the court, the Cookston Court, and then we're going to have the brewery up north of that. So all 4 are outdoor locations that can have outdoor venues and bands. So it's going to be, I'm really looking forward to, hopefully when this COVID slows down a little bit, we'll have a great late summer, fall.
That's going to be so much fun. You're just going to you're not going to be able to know which one to go to. You're
That's
going
right.
to have
You have
to
a choice.
check the lineup.
Well, you can walk around with wine out here. You can just walk around from one
really?
to
So you can just walk from event to event?
Yes, ma'am.
Is it just wine? Can you carry your beer too?
You can carry beer too.
Okay. Just checking out all the rules.
Yes, that's right. Check all the boxes.
That's right. It's so exciting to see what's going on in Royse City. It's just incredible the community it's grown into. And everyone I've talked to that have served on these boards, they just seem to really care a lot.
And it really is the leaders in this community also make a big difference. I can't say enough good things about Janet Nickel, the mayor.
Yes.
I know we're losing her. She's going to be the commissioner now, and she's growing.
Her heart's going to always be here, though.
She will. She told me the other day she's always going to be connected to here. But look at the restaurant Polio's. When we had all the lights going out, the storms, they opened up just so where the community could go have food.
Yes.
We got Ashley and Vanessa at the chamber. They are so active in the community. They, businesses that come here, we might bring them without economic development, but they keep them excited and take care of them and make sure they do the fundraisers around them, ribbon cuttings. And every time a business opens in Royse City, they have one of the biggest showings.
Yes.
The biggest openings. The community supports the businesses here for sure.
They really do. I mean, we have felt loved from the moment we said we were coming here. Good. They've done a fantastic job, but the whole community has.
It really has. It really has. Everybody supports everyone. But Kevin Worthy with the school district, so involved and done such an amazing job. With the police, the fire department, Carl, the city manager, our city attorney, everyone works together. There's no egos. They all work hard for the city and they appreciate what they've got here. And I don't think anyone takes it for granted.
I wish you guys could bottle that up and share that with other communities because it has made such a difference in this community by seeing you guys all work together and come together. And that's how it should be. You're not always going to agree about everything, but you have the same common goal for the community.
Exactly. If you care, if you care about this community and you work together with everyone, it's amazing what you can accomplish when everybody has like minds and works together.
Absolutely.
There's that saying that rising tide raises all ships.
Amen.
So
I firmly believe that too. Well, Bobby, I asked you to pick a number before we got started. But I think I actually already asked you the question. You picked number 8. You picked number 18. Wasn't that your number you said? 18?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I didn't ask you this one. I asked you a different one. Okay. So I'm going to ask you 18. Okay. All right. Who or what inspires you to be a better person? You might have answered that, but you can give us a different answer if you want to. Who or what inspires you to be a better person?
I feel like I'm a spiritual man, and I feel like I always want to do my best. And I do believe this, God's watching me all the time. So when you talk about integrity, that's when doing what's right when no one's watching. Mm-hmm. And I really feel that way. So I feel like I'm always going to do my best. It doesn't matter who's watching. And I guess just believing that God is taking care of me and I'm gonna do my part to please Him.
I love it. Couldn't be better than that.
That's what I tried to do. So hopefully, we're all imperfect. We try, but always trying, not giving up is a big thing. So that's what I do.
I love it. Thank you so much, Bobby. I've really enjoyed sitting down and getting to know you and you sharing parts of your story and especially sharing how much you love Royse City.
I'm so glad you came to our community too. So I really feel like you're a light that's going to continue to help us too. So I love having people like y'all coming into visiting our city and staying here too.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. That means so much to me. Well, Bobby, I look forward to getting to know you better and working with you in this community.
Yes, ma'am. Me too.
Thank you.
Thank you for watching Heart of Royse City. This video series, which is designed to celebrate Royse City, Texas, is spearheaded by REMAX 3D Real Estate.